If you're on the market for a home, what exactly are you looking for in a realtor? If you want an ATX original who has over 2 decades of experience in this market, a truly devoted family guy who's been known to make time for a cortado or two as well, if so, I know a guy. His name is Kevin Hutchison. He manages to balance his life while finding homes for his clients, all while playing dad. This proud boy and girl dad is musically inclined, and he bleeds burnt orange as well.
Thank you, Clint. You pretty much said it all. I'm honored to be a part of Stories Inside the Man Cave and honored to serve each and every one of you in your real estate needs. San Antonio, Austin, Texas, everywhere in between.
Hutch will treat you like family while finding your ideal home. Give him a shout at the number on your screen or shoot him an email. Kevin Hutchison at Realty Austin.
Congratulations to Ole Miss for making it too, as well as us, and looking for the opportunity to play the great game we love, but it's baseball.
Yeah, the great game that a lot of us love, college baseball, the game that is growing and more eyeballs are watching the College World Series. Hey, OU, Texas fans may not like it, but they are UT's 1A, 1B biggest rival. Tremendous story. Oklahoma is going to play for the national championship in the championship series up in Omaha, the College World Series, game 1 later today. It's extra special because both the teams, Oklahoma and Ole Miss, and this is the championship series right here. It's Ole Miss, OU, two teams. I would love to meet somebody who said beginning of the year, I think Oklahoma and Ole Miss are going to play for the national championship of college baseball. I would love to meet that person. I'd buy you lunch. If you pick these two teams to play for the national championship, I've got your lunch. Hands down, no doubt. Two special stories, and that's what we're going to do in this episode 151 that we are calling Skip is in the Ship in Omaha, and that being Skip Johnson, the former, everybody knows the story, spent a decade at Texas as the pitching coach, a tremendous, well-respected pitching coach from the highest level at MLB. Some of the biggest names in the offseason are coached by Skip Johnson. He did a fantastic job while as a coach at UT under Augie Garrido. And by the way, this episode right here is sponsored by our guy, Jim Saxton of Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance Agency. You probably have heard this story on other episodes, but it's too good not to tell. And it's an endorsement, obviously, for Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance. Bought a truck nearly 3 months ago, and I just informed them that I called Jimmy. He directed me to, I believe it's Chris in the office here in Austin, and they had me fully insured and a digital insurance card to put in my Apple Wallet and an email copy within a half hour. And that is service right there and shows you what type of agency you're dealing with. Very reliable. And Jimmy is, he's homegrown and he is all about serving the Austin area. Now, in case, you were not aware, the College World Series, it's been going on what seems like forever. Texas had a great year. But was ousted after 2 games, and Texas A&M eliminated Texas. But now we're winding things up, the final 2 standing, and that includes the boys from Norman, Oklahoma. And regardless if you're a fan of OU or not, you've got to, if you like the game. By the way, yes, that is not from a brawl. It is what we call a fever blister, herpes simplex type 2. Every year when I get a lot of sun, the first time in the summer, one of these pops up. It looks like a marble. It looks worse than it really is. It's just not attractive. But as far as the Sooners, they've just been a laid-back, throwback, gritty team that if you watch them play, they are just in sync. There's a good chemistry about them. And here's one of the Sooners right here, one of their outfielders talking about not changing the approach just because it's the National Championship Series.
We're here to take charge and do what we do and win a championship. And That's all we've been looking at for the last 4 weeks.
Remember, back in April, Oklahoma was 18-12, trying to figure things out. Skip changed things up. His entire coaching staff, which includes Clay Van Hook, a former Longhorn, on the staff. They really did a phenomenal job of developing their bullpen and rearranged their lineup some. They infused a lot of youth, and they've all developed a great combination. They just struck a flame and really have become that type of team. Yeah, Skip has made references to Augie Garrido quite often during his press conferences. And if you've watched these press conferences, Skip really just is laid back. He owns them. He's real. He's authentic. He's organic. Great storytelling. Well, he was asked before this national championship series if it would be quite a year if they ended up winning the national championship just weeks after the OU softball team won the national championship. Of course, the head coach of the OU softball team, Patty Gasso, she's a legend. She's won half a dozen national championships. And, well, of course, Skip is a very simple guy, but he's very deep as well. But a great storyteller, good representation. And when he was asked about following up an OU softball national championship with one of their own, this is what Skip had to say.
That's what the University of Oklahoma is known about. There's only one, and we talk about that. And Patty's done a great job. I mean, she reminds me of Coach Garrido and what just being around her and what her presence and her team's been incredible. If we get the opportunity to do the same thing, we're here. And if it happens, that's great. If it doesn't happen, what are we going to do? Go fishing? That's what I look at and go recruiting.
That's Skip at his finest. Outdoorsman, hunter, fisher. I believe he was grew up in the Red River Valley, far north Texas. Skip is a cool cat, just a cool dude, well respected. And just to think, there were those rumors that they may be making a change at the OU baseball program, and now look what happened. You give that man some time, he's going to develop a program, and he learned from the best, that being Augie Garrido. There is one thing about this, Skip, that I wanted to point out, a really good storyline, since they're playing Ole Miss. Now, keep in mind, Ole Miss, speaking of coaches who were on fragile ground, Bianco for Ole Miss, nothing but a winner. He has a down year. They feel pressure because Mississippi State last year at the CWS and that national championship they were involved in and played for. So they have a down year. Ole Miss does. They barely get into this tournament. The SEC, let's face it, best college baseball in America. Big 12, great year. But that's not part of the story here. The story is Ole Miss barely got in. Skip was asked about his knowing Coach Bianco and his ties to Mississippi. Well, surprisingly, and I didn't know this, Skip was I knew this part, great coach at Navarro College in Corsicana. Developed a ton of players. There's so many. One, Chris Davis, who was going to be a Longhorn, ended up going to Navarro, playing or finishing there. Then, the rest of the story, Major League Baseball career, great kid. But his connections, he had some connections to Mississippi, including Brian Cole, who's from Mississippi. He played football and baseball at Navarro while Skip was there, and Skip coached him. But it was just shocking, a sad story. But what Skip said about Brian Cole, it blew me away simply because of all the great players that Skip has been around.
Best player I've ever seen in my life. Died in 2001. His name was Brian Coe. He played for me at Navarro in 1998. I don't know if you guys know a lot about who Brian Coe is, but he was a pretty special person. And he's from Mississippi, and I had a lot of good friends. Corky from Meridian, Mississippi, so it's a good fit.
So there you go, Brian Cole. One car collision, I believe he was went to, if I remember the story correctly, driving back from Florida to go back home to Mississippi, something like 2001, 2002. But he's one of the greatest athletes, and he's acknowledged by Navarro College, one of the best who have ever played, two-sport star. But that was his Mississippi connection, as they were talking about the Ole Miss comparisons and things of that nature. Now, one subject that came up I thought was really cool. So those of you who have not been to Omaha, or maybe you went after 2010, 2011, I believe, was the first year for TD Ameritrade Park, which is in downtown Omaha. The historic facility, Rosenblatt Field or Stadium, was on the other side of town. Just a unique spot, which made the College World Series what it is today. Very special, colorful seats, the big light post in the outfield, the organ, the smells, the grass, the short left and right field walls across the street, the bars, the beer gardens, the trading Skyview, Stadium View, trading cards place. Just a very unique environment. Beautiful. It was a great time. Well, earlier this week on the Sooners' day off, they made a trip to where Rosenblatt was, where it once stood. And what a city of Omaha has done with that, they've taken a few of those colorful seats from Rosenblatt and created a park for everybody, a short field, very, very condensed field, like an infield, and to memorialize and let Rosenblatt live, because there's a lot of history behind it. It means a lot to that city. It means a lot to people like myself who love college baseball. Well, Skip and the Sooners on their day off, they took a trip over there to check out where Rosenblatt once stood.
That's why I have the best baseball operations guy in baseball, Ryan Gaines. He came to me before we went over to practice, and he goes, "Man, I got a good idea." I asked him, "What's that?" And he goes, "Let's go over to Rosenblatt." I'm like, "That's cool. Let's go over there to kind of show those guys where this place has been, what the College World Series is about, where they played it, where the Oklahoma Sooners won the last national championship in 1994 on, and it was really big." And just explain to them when they before they got off the bus to, this is what college baseball is about. I remember it was like an airport, balls leaving that yard, but I got to play in 2009 in Rosenblatt, and it was really special, and didn't get to come back in 2010, but got to open up 2011 here. So it's a great place.
Yeah, the Blatt, very special place. And I feel for those of you who are college baseball enthusiasts who never got to experience the Blatt. Very special place there. And it's something I went in 09 and 10. I waited up until the last two seasons to go. But yeah, very special place. And Skip was not able to go in 2010 because Texas faced a very strong, and a lot of Longhorn fans have bad memories of this, when TCU met Texas in the Super Regional here in Austin, and TCU won that Super Regional, and they were dancing on the Longhorn in the outfield. And so that is where that year is the reason why that's what happened, why Texas didn't go. I hate to reignite those memories, but that's the reason why he was not able to go in 2010. Hey, manscaping in the man cave. Some people, this is one of their favorite segments. I don't know if the Sooners or anybody in Omaha, the College World Series, uses manscaped.com. If they don't, they should, because these are tremendous products, and they're kind of teach us a lesson. We should always be evolving. We learned that through the COVID lockdown. Evolution, constantly moving forward. Well, manscaped.com, sponsor of Stories Inside the Man Cave, they have come up with this beautiful 4-step process for those of us on the go. It's called the Ultra Smooth Package. See it? You know what? We're going to go through this, and I feel like I'm reading to you like we're in kindergarten. It's pretty simple. Number 1, get in the shower. Number 2, you got to scrub the balls. Number 3, lube it up. Number 4, it's showtime. So after you get in the shower, you're going to use the crop exfoliator. Yeah, that's for gentle exfoliant for the growing area. Then you're going to use your crop gel to, let me show you, to clear growing shaving gel. Leave that on. Then you whip out this bad boy. Look how small this razor is. Look, perfect size. You know what I'm talking about? Size is not everything. But when you're on the go, especially nowadays, trying to compact everything, because it's stressful to fly nowadays, because you have delays and you don't want to take up a lot of space. So go to manscaped.com today. At some point this weekend, I challenge you. Look for the Ultra Smooth Package. Very compact. It's amazing because, and that razor, don't let the size fool you. Tremendous work. Smooth as silk after you're done. The great products protect your skin and you smell good. Aroma's everything. So go to manscaped.com, look for the Ultra Smooth Package, then use this promo code right here, ManCave20, all one word. When you check out for your promo code, you get 20% off. Well worth it. Well worth it. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to talk about rookie initiation for a well-known rookie from the Austin area in the NFL, because we all know you need to be initiated. You don't just walk your way in. You got to earn your stripes. Everything. That's the story of life. Yeah. And then we're going to talk about a certain quarterback from New Orleans who has created quite a buzz. That's up next. For all of your insurance needs, look no further than our primary sponsor, Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance Agency. The ATX OG has been insuring Austin for over 3 decades. And get this, Jim Saxton is a Longhorn legacy. He is the son of the late, great James Saxton, who was a Heisman finalist. Be sure to give him a call, or better yet, visit his website, saxtoninsurance.com, and tell him that the stories inside the Man Cave Boys recommended you.
This is JJ Gotch, CEO of the Austin Gamblers. And segment 2 of Stories Inside the Man Cave is next.
Appreciate you, JJ. Austin Gamblers. It's a PBR, professional team bull riding franchise, the Gamblers are. It's a new concept. And Austin, I believe, is one of 8 in the entire country. Their home arena, the Moody Arena, on the new arena on the campus of the University of Texas. Beautiful arena, all the amenities. Went there with a friend of mine for the Jimmy Buffett concert. I didn't know what to expect of the arena, but I'm very critical and just trying to soak everything in. It's like sensory overload at the Mood. You're going to enjoy it. But check out the Gamblers, Austin's newest and latest, greatest professional franchise. And JJ, meet him. I promise you, you will want to at least give the Gamblers a try. And it'll be a good merger of all the people moving from the West. And it's a South and Southwest and Texas kind of type of activity. And some of the best bull riders in the world calling Austin, Texas home. Hey, segment 2. Sponsored by Honest AC and Plumbing, they're based in Hutto, Texas, which is to the northeast of Austin. These guys are locally owned and veteran owned, and we know how hot it is. It's hotter than hell right now, but nothing new. This is Austin, Texas. That's why we love the summertime. Some of us, I do, but not everybody. But if you live in North Austin, Hutto, Cedar Park, Round Rock, Leander, Georgetown, and, of course, Hutto, give the guys at Honest AC and Plumbing a call, and they stand behind their handshake. They are all about it because they believe in their work, and they're old school, and they're trustworthy. So segment 2 here, we're going to wrap things up with a rookie initiation and talk about a young man that is going to be calling Austin home. Big-time legacy. But a rookie initiation, what am I talking about? Well, in the NFL or anywhere, initiation, when you come on board of a group and you're young or a rookie or just a new person, whatnot, you don't just – I don't believe in – you don't just earn your way in and be equal. You got to earn your way in, period, especially in sports. It's the same way in high school, college, professional. You've got to be initiated. It's a rite of passage. Well, one receiver from Austin, Lake Travis, Hank Carter, Coach Ludicky, all those guys, tremendous state high school football program, state power. Garrett Wilson is perhaps one of the best receivers I have ever seen from the high school level. And he continued and did a fabulous job at Ohio State. Well, he was drafted by the Jets. Well, he was on a podcast of other NFL stars of the present and past, namely Fred Taylor, Ryan Clark, and Channing Crowder. A podcast called The Pivot. Well, they were asking this great rookie, Garrett Wilson, about being a rookie and what does he expect as far as what he may have to do as a rookie to earn his respect and be initiated, so to speak.
They did tell me about the dinner. I got to take all the receivers to a dinner. That's going to be cool. I'm excited for that.
It's not going to be cool.
You know they're going to run that bill up? Like 75,000?
Oh, yeah. You mean like the Louis the 13th you're going to have to buy at the restaurant?
Nah, they ain't doing me for 75K. I ain't going to fake it.
Nah. It's the rookie dinner. It's all of y'all.
You the 10th pick of the draft, too. They know you got 20 guaranteed.
Wait, what you say rookie dinner is?
He thinks it's his decision.
It was so cute. It was so cute.
Hilarious. It's a great podcast, by the way. Check those guys out. This is nothing new. But yeah, those bills, a lot of them are that much, especially if you're taking out some linemen. O-linemen and even defensive linemen, those are some big human beings, and they eat well. They eat a lot. They need more calories, more protein. And then when you mix in the Dom Perignon, the good bottles of champagne, the bubbles, the good, great bottles of wine from across the world, Argentina, Napa, France, the Bordeaux region wines, those are going to cost you some. So I'm curious whenever this rookie dinner is. I feel for Garrett, great kid. But I'm curious what his final bill will, including gratuity. It's going to be interesting. Say, back home here in Austin, this caught the attention of everybody. This young man from Isidore Newman High School in New Orleans, a legacy, a Manning, is coming to Austin. If he hangs on to his commitment, and because he's a Manning, I'm fairly positive that his commitment is golden. But Arch Manning will be he's committed to Texas. That created such a viral topic across all social media platforms, as one would expect, and was a top story on a lot of national sports talk shows, whatnot, even ESPN. But this young man has quite an arm, his intelligence. He has the pocket presence. He has all the presence you would want for a quarterback, and of course, the pedigree. Of course, his uncles, Peyton, quarterback at Tennessee, fell short of a national championship, did well, though. And then Eli, just like his daddy did, Archie, went to Ole Miss. But correct me if I'm wrong, his father, Cooper, I believe has ties to Austin. And so, but now we're going to have the Manning presence more often in Austin. Arch is about to enter his senior year, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be an early enrollee. So he'll graduate technically from Isidore Newman High School in December of 23, or excuse me, this is 22. Yes, he'll graduate this December early enroll. And so that's where we stand. And I want to talk about momentum. And what I mean by that is, if you want to relate this back to like when Chris Sims committed to Texas, it created a ton of recruiting momentum on both sides of the ball. And you're starting to see that happen. Now, Sark had a great recruiting class this year, an excellent recruiting class. Signed every position of need they addressed, and even added depth. However, quarterback room is going to be interesting starting in July and August of 23. However, I want to tap the brakes for the fans because now you have Quinn Ewers, who I would venture to say is probably going to be the starter this year. But you have Hudson Card, who's going to be a junior. He's going to have a tremendous amount of experience. The game's going to slow down for him. The O-line should be a little better. They're a year away from being really good on the O-line. And then you have Malik Murphy, who, in my opinion, is the guy who may lead this team to a championship, some form of a championship. From California, he's a large human being, extremely athletic, live on arm. But you have some guys on here now in this quarterback room. This quarterback room is legit, and it will be interesting to see when Arch comes to Texas, what exactly will happen to that quarterback room. Do all four stay and compete? Or in this era of the transfer portal, will one or two of them bounce out? It's a coin toss. Way too early to talk about that. Because I would venture to say after this season, there will be some discussion, some hard evaluation. Of course, Sark, this is a great opportunity right now for him, Steve Sarkisian, with that quarterback room and Coach Milwee. So that's where we stand with that. And you know what? That's a great transition because that is something good for Longhorn fans.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
All right, I already told you something good for the Longhorn fans for football. That's right there. And we're going to remove old Arch. Good kid. I've not heard a bad thing. So that's great for Texas. Great for all the recruiting momentum on both sides. And from what I understand, true leader. And that is something good. So I'm going to tell you something good, which is sponsored by our guy, Kevin Hutchison. And if you don't know who Kevin Hutchison is, this is who he is.
Hey, y'all, Kevin Hutchison here with Realty Austin, and I am grateful to be a part of Stories Inside the Man Cave, a homegrown podcast just like my own business.
There are so many things around us that we overlook. There's so much negativity, from Supreme Court rulings, a lot of divisive things in our society that we can all make a difference and change certain things. And I'm not going political, but what I mean by this is we look around. We're here for a short period of time. Find something you're passionate in. Open your eyes and look around at something that is amazing. I started to notice this, a new perspective on life. There's something every day, whether it be a friend to talk to them or something that I see. Man, I just realized, I'm glad I woke up today and saw this, or I talked to him or her, or experienced this, or I saw something in nature, or God, it was amazing to see another College World Series run for the Texas Longhorns, or man, I'm blessed to have received an opportunity to do whatever it was. Well, how I'm relating this to what I'm about to show you, we're going to end on a video. There's this choir based out of New York City, a children's choir. And if you go, you'll see their Instagram handle on the top left of the video. I noticed these kids in this choir about 2 years ago. And if you know the voices of children, they really uplift your day. But these kids are extremely uber talented. And there's that Green Day song, and I think you know what I'm talking about. But here, we're going to end the show on about a 30-second clip of this children's choir in New York City, and follow them. You'll see the handle on the top left-hand corner of the screen. It's amazing. But the lyrics to the song and how these kids are singing it, I want you to try to apply those lyrics to your life. And I'm not trying to be this influence and dictating what you're doing. But, man, of all the negativity we have, let's open our eyes. Man, there's a lot of positive things, and we get to live here. And I appreciate you for watching this podcast and supporting it. And be sure to share and like it and follow all of the social media platforms for Stories Inside the Man Cave. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.